Good day, independent thinkers. Having watched just a little bit of debaters for a certain political party not too long ago, it was sad to see these men and women acting with hate, complaints, bribery, disrespect, and absolutely no reasonable solutions to the state of affairs in this country. What was offensive to some Americans who of Hispanic descent was that someone was speaking Spanish at the debates. Having spoken to Americans with Hispanic heritage, some were amused, some were offended, and some were wondering if they were back in Mexico. Some people told me the debates sounded like socialism and communism, where some of these people had escaped from so that they could be in the United States here, where there is a republic democracy. The key word is republic. There was a reason the Constitution and the Bill of Rights was set up in this country. Two reasons were to escape tyranny and high taxes. Listening to someone at the debates stating that if he was president, he would take away guns from people, and another saying taxes would be raised even higher than they are now, was a reminder of other countries where the same thing was done to its people, and the people lost their freedom and their economic wealth. Do not be fooled when someone tells you that people will be getting free stuff from the government. That is a lie. The government doesn't have any money. It's the men and women who pay taxes or donate to the government who are the government. You, the taxpayer, fund the government, or it wouldn't exist. Free health care is not free. You pay for it through taxes, and if there are people here and they are not paying taxes, well, you are paying for them too. Does that seem right to you? Especially when there are tax-free agencies available to people. If anyone had counted how many times the word racist was used, they would have turned off the debates within 10 minutes from boredom. That word is so abused and misused. Having the opportunity to speak to a lot of people at the job, I've only heard a few people speak of racism. Racism does exist, but it isn't about skin color you should worry about. There are elites out there, and in Congress right now, that are racist against the human race. There are elites who want to control the population, control who can have a baby and who cannot, and control on how you choose to defend yourself. Instead of listening to the politics of complainers, whiners, and blamers, who all they can do is call people names, how about listening to someone who has answers and who can keep promises? Look at the congressmen and women, their records, and how they vote on issues. How about checking on the men and women and see what they are really up to by the way they vote in their legislative sessions? How about calling your Congress and telling them to stop wasting taxpayer money on committees that are not productive, which they do get extra pay for, and telling them to get to working on cutting their salaries and outrageous pensions? There should be no funding from taxpayers on government pensions. It should be all privatized, and they know it. This is an observation from someone who has no allegiance to any particular party, but has allegiance to this country and the American men and women in this country. What do you think the politicians would do if everyone in this country had allegiance to this country and not to them? In other words, what if everyone registered as an independent voter instead of Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Socialist, Communist, or Marxist. What do you think they would do? What do you think would happen? It sure would be it would be interesting, wouldn't it? As always, take care and be aware to be clear of what you see and what you hear.